All right, number 5. Which of the following is a Rowlock? So this is a bunch of bricks, and the first one we have here, that's the face that's showing when it's sitting in the wall. There's a couple different names for this position, but that would be, we always called it a runner. I think there's a few other names for it. And then this tall one is actually kind of an unusual one. It's because it's not probably what you're thinking. So most people would probably assume that that's referred to as a soldier. Here's a little bit of ridiculous, useless information for you. If I have a bunch of soldiers all lined up and they're standing at attention, their feet are together, there's their guns, I don't know, does that make sense? Their feet are all standing together as they're lined up. So that's representing the short face. If the short face was the one that was being shown, that would be called a soldier course. If we were talking about this face, that's the wide face being shown, that would be called a sailor course. And the reason for that is if you imagine a ship coming in and they're all wearing their navy whites, if you stand like a soldier, you're going to fall over because the boat's moving around. So the Navy folks, when they're at attention, stand with a wide stance. And so that's why if it's this one with this face here, then that would be called a sailor course. So neither of those happen to be Rowlock. It's not a runner, it's not a sailor, it's not a soldier. And this last one here is referred to as a header when that face is what's shown. So that only leaves C left. C is when it's the short but vertically placed, but vertically in only the short direction. That's a Rowlock. All right, so what are the issues here? Well, one issue is when you are putting these things in a kiln, I've got them all lined up. I have them stacked, and when these things are, a couple thousand of these things stacked together and they're in that kiln, these faces are the ones that are getting the nice heat that's really making those weather-resistant, at least sort of weather-resistant. Bricks are notoriously porous, but kind of weather-resistant. The faces that are not getting the same level of moisture resistance are going to be these long, flat faces. So they tend to be much more porous. So the sailor course doesn't get used very much because you have the wrong face showing. These thin faces are the ones that almost always are the ones that you're shooting for showing. Well, that still works with that Rowlock. That's still the elements that can be expressed, and so that's why it's used. So, okay, where would be a good example of using it? Let's see. How about here's a window. There's a couple different ways you might use it. So there's a windowsill. There's my inner wall, and then here's a bunch of bricks. Sort of regular brick wall. If I put just another brick right on there, first of all, that brick is likely to be one that has holes in it in order to make it a little bit lighter and to make it harden in the kiln process better. So I want to put something there but not have this face showing. If I just put another brick, it would be the wrong face. So I put that face showing. I stand it up. I break it off on the edge. I put it on a tilt. And that's a Rowlock right there with there's those things showing. And then I have, if this is the rain coming down, so there's my drop of rain, it's going to drip right on that edge. This is going to form a natural drip edge, and it's going to drip away from the building right in that spot. It's going to give me a slightly different look to sort of emphasize the sill. So that's the place that I would use it, where I'm getting the benefits of the right side is being expressed and exposed. I'm getting the benefits by it becomes an automatic self drip edge element, and will kind of read both to emphasize the sill, but also still as very clearly part of the brick wall. So it's not, doesn't have to be used that way. That's just sort of a kind of typical classic way that it would be done. There's a few other ways for other sort of dramatic brick detail you could use it for.